Welcome to the Leadership Doctor, where we talk about all things leadership. I'm Dr. Christine Fusilier. Today, I want to talk about a leadership style that is encompassing of several different leadership characteristics that can be very divisive and destructive to our organizations and to our world. It's called predatory leadership. Now, just like a predator is someone who basically looks to harm or to commit a crime against someone who is weaker or not as knowledgeable than they are, or someone who's unsuspecting. Predatory leadership does that through their followers. They prey on followers who may be weaker, not as well versed on things, or are thirsty to follow someone who has their same ideology or likes the rhetoric that they put out there. So predatory leadership includes several different leadership characteristics, which are divisive leadership, bullying leadership, blind eye leadership, immoral leadership, egotistical leadership, and emotional leadership. A predatory leader uses those characteristics to help guide, influence, and incite their followers to commit actions for their benefit, the benefit of the leader, not the benefit of the followers. Typically, a predatory leader does not take into account any type of legal, financial, or physical repercussions that the followers may incur because of the actions that they take. Also, a predatory leader definitely misleads and provides a false sense of security, liability, and accountability to his or her followers. So let's unpack some of the things that happened this week that we saw as predatory leadership and based on the characteristics that I outlined. We talked about divisive and bullying leadership. In that case, you have someone who is leading a group of people to help continually divide a situation and or a group of people in a very bullyish manner. In that bullyish manner, you will hear terms like let's bull through or let's combat, or you'll hear very fighting, I guess the word, it's not fighting words, but very insightful language that gets people excited and amped up to either commit something violent or destructive. Then we go down to blind eye and immoral leadership, which is a part of predatory, because if I act as if I don't see it, then I can't be held accountable for it, even though I may have the knowledge. But because I understand that the followers may not be as strong as I am, I will be able to say, well, I wasn't aware that that happened, or they should have known better. In many cases, we saw a lot of that unfold. Then we saw egotistical and emotional leadership. A predatory leader is all about their ego. They want their ego fed by any means necessary. And they feed their ego by being very reckless with their words, sometimes reckless with their actions, but definitely reckless enough to incite people to want to do whatever it is they need for them to do to feed their ego. So these are different leadership characteristics that fall under predatory leadership. And it does, at the end of the day, the task at hand is to, number one, identify that that's predatory leadership. And if we see that happening, as other leaders, we hold them accountable. You call them out for what they're doing. You stand up and speak truth to power, because predatory leadership has no place in our world or in our organization, because it does nothing but create chaos, destruction, and despair. So as leaders, we have to take responsibility to call people out when we see that behavior happening. I hope that this information is enough to start the dialogue so that we as leaders can come together and when we see predatory leadership, we call that out and we stop that because that is no way to make leadership great again in our country or our world. And we have to be the ones to make sure that that is pushed, that the elimination of predatory leadership is pushed forward. Please write any comments that you have below. If there's something specific you want me to go into more detail about, please do so. I will be outlining many of these leadership characteristics in further episodes, so stay tuned. Also, if you wanted to get my book, it is on Amazon. It's called Leadership Rex, where we talk about poor leadership in organizations and how they impact people. So I hope to hear from you all next time. Have a great one.